welcome to another product reveal video. We are excited you're here today because we have a big one to share with everyone, right?
So many new things.
A little something for everyone. This is called our Tools and Essentials release. So we've got those tools that you need for your crafting. We have thought about some of the things that are missing from our collection.
I'm so excited.
And we brought them out in teal.
Yes.
So I wore my teal
the
today.
Appropriate color.
Yes. Taylor's favorite teal tools today. That's a lot of teas.
I know. Wow.
And then essentials. So the essentials in our collection, we often think of those as patterns that are versatile. So the polka dots and the stripes and the dies that cut shapes, and they aren't the most exciting, wowsy, let's create this big fun pattern with this combo product, but they are one of the necessities, one of the essentials for crafters. And we have some new things in that category. So hope everybody's excited.
I am so ready. This is my kind of release.
Okay, well, let's get down to business and start sharing. So Whitney's going to hand me things as we talk through. Let's talk about teal tools first. How does that sound?
Great.
Okay. I'll try to mention some of these things have been previously available to you guys if you have joined in for Black Friday or Advent Calendar or maybe even Virtual Stamp Joy. So I will do my best to mention if these were previously offered so you can check your collection. This first one has been long awaited.
Yes!
We are now bringing out our teal pick and place tool. So I'm going to take it out of the packaging here so you guys can get a look at this beauty. It is in my favorite teal color. It is a double-ended tool. So on one end you have the wax tip.
Perfect.
So just a word of warning, this is on our website too, but with these wax pick and place tools, you do not need to press very hard on that tip. Just a really light touch to the embellishment that you're trying to pick up and then place it down onto your project. If you do press too hard or if you have these in heat, it's wax, so it will melt. Or if you do break the tip, we do have replacement tips for these that you can just unscrew. See, I'll do this one here for you. You can unscrew that tip and place a new one back in. So if you want to also get a few replacement tips, just so you have them on hand, you can do that. We have it printed. It's kind of hard to see on the video, but it's printed with Share Joy, and it has teal beads in the center. And then this end has this is the place part of the tool. So this is the pick end. Pick it up, and this is the placement end. So once you get it onto your adhesive, you can kind of push it around or move it into place. You can also use this as a die pick. If you have it near your die cutting station, it will work that way as well. So we've got our Teal Tools pick and place for you guys. Fun stuff. This was another one that people have been asking for since we put it in our Advent calendar. This is our Teal Tools Stencil Squeegee.
I love that word.
I know, that's a fun word to say. Your squeegee comes in Taylor's favorite teal. It is the perfect size. It's beveled on one edge. It's the perfect size to kind of hold in your hand. And it's made of silicone, so that means it's flexible. And it's more flexible on this beveled end, so as you drag it across your paper to apply your paste and other mediums, it's going to give you a really nice, consistent application of those. And
we've been using it around here and loving it.
We sure have. I'm excited to be able to use this on lives, and now that all of you can enjoy it. You can choose to hold it with two hands like this. I have bigger hands, so I can hold it with one hand myself, but up to you. Both options are
cute.
Are good. Another item from our Advent calendar.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, people have been asking for this. We have our 3x3 Glassboard. So this is our mini Glassboard. If you did purchase our Advent calendar, then you received this. It is adorably printed with the Tailored Expressions logo and a cute colorful rainbow around the outside. I'll mention too that in the bottom of your package, you will get these 4 little circles. So these little dots need to be placed in the corners of your glass board, and that's going to keep it nice from slipping on your other surfaces that you're using. So just apply those in each corner of the glass board. And then, Whitney, what do we like to use this for?
Splatter. We put a little watercolor on there too,
Yes.
if we're just using one color. We use it all the time. I feel like we move it around to so many different places that
I think we have like 5 of them in here.
We do, yes. It makes cleanup easy because it's just a nice wipe over that small glass board and
Yes.
love it.
I love using it in our splatter box, so I'm not getting out an acrylic block and trying to put my splatter material on there. So that is now available if you want to purchase an extra if you already got one, or you can grab it for the first time. Now this next product, also available from our advent calendar, we have our Teal Tools Scrub-A-Dub Bud.
Oh, girl.
Isn't that cute?
You know, I was like, can we get this?
Yes.
I want this so bad. Can we bring it out? Because it makes cleanup and holding tools so easy. So
It
you
does.
tell them.
Can you grab me, are you grabbing me the scrubber? Okay, so this again is made out of Taylor's favorite teal silicone. So it is water resistant. It has these grooves in the bottom of it that you can use to scrub your brushes, paint brushes, blender brushes.
Yes.
A lot of times we use it for that purpose, and then we also use it for the purpose of holding our handheld stamp scrubber. So this is called our Clean Sweep Stamp Scrubber. Ours is looking pretty clean today.
I know. I actually cleaned the pads the other day, and they
love
turned
it.
out so nice. Yeah.
But we use this to clean our stamps, and sometimes it gets dirty on the bottom. We don't wash it after every use, and you might want somewhere to place it on your desktop so you don't get it into your card projects or accidentally set it on to something you're working on. So we use this little dish to hold our Scrub-A-Dub, or our Clean Sweep scrubber. So fits just perfectly, and you can now grab that as well. And this tool is brand new for this release. We have the Teal Tools mini spatulas. So let me pull these out and show you guys. I love these little things.
I might need these for home stuff too.
Yes. Well, that is why we included 2 of them in the package. So
Okay.
I know up in my bathroom, I have a lot of little jars of, you know, concealers or makeup products or lotions. And sometimes I just want to get that little spatula in so I can use all of the product. So I think there are going to be a lot of fun uses for these.
I do too.
Kitchen uses, craft uses,
Yes.
you know, makeup counter uses. So one end has a little spoon so you can scoop out things from smaller jars. And then you have the spatula end so you can really scrape the sides. You know how we talked about our mom used to be like a master scraper of the brownie bowl? So there was never any batter left? Mm-hmm. Well, don't use this with your brownies, but you can become a master scraper so you get all of your craft mediums out of the jars using these little spatulas. And the thing I love about them is they are very sturdy on the ends. So it is made of silicone, easily washable. Mm-hmm. It has a little bit of flexibility on the ends to help you get into those jar areas, but you are not getting any bend in the handle of your spatula, and that little piece of metal comes out to make your spatula and spoon end hold up a little bit better, because nobody wants to be scooping with a floppy spoon.
Yes.
So
Agree.
yes, we tried to think of everything with these, and you can grab your mini spatulas starting on Tuesday. I know, I almost said today, but you guys are watching this on Saturday because it's our sneak peek product reveal. So let's talk about those next.
Yes.
I have another Teal tool that will be recognizable for those of you who were part of our advent calendar. This came free for those of you who pre-ordered our advent calendar last year. So if you didn't pre-order it, you didn't get this, but we needed to have this for everyone. A corner rounder punch. Who doesn't need a corner rounder? I feel like, you know, for a lot of years, I had one that had just one size. Well, even better when you get 3 different sizes of corner round in the same small punch. So this is, what does that measure? Like about a 2.5 by 3 inch square, so it's not going to take up a lot of room in your drawer or wherever you're storing it. Has that little push button lever, easy to operate. You put your corner of your cardstock into whichever size you want to use, small, medium, or large. You can see the visual on the top of the corner round you're going to get.
Oh, that's helpful.
Isn't that nice? And then I have one here for you so that you can see. So I've got small here, then medium, and then large off to the side. So
I can't wait to use that.
I know. I'm excited about this. So excited about this that we decided to come out with a new punch for you guys. We didn't want you to get it confused with your teal punch. So this one is pink. Isn't that great?
I love it.
This one is a corner angle punch. So it works in the same way. It has 3 different sizes, and I'm going to show you those. A lot of times you want to just snip off a little angled edge of your cardstock. Sometimes I do that with a scissors, and it's difficult to get the same angle on all the sides of your paper. So now you have the angle corner punch that gives you the options of a small, a medium, or a large angle. And you can create your own layers. I'm going to show you some samples that some of our designers created. I have one here for you right now. And Susan made this tag actually with our beautiful new fluttering, what did we call those?
Butterflies.
Flint and flutter butterflies. Yes. A lot of words.
Flint and flutter.
She used those. They released last week, but she created her own tag by simply cutting a rectangle of cardstock and then angling both ends, just the top 2 ends, but both layers of that to create this fun tag, which I think is fun. We do have a tag shape that looks like this. That's a die cut, but this allows you to create tags in any size that you need. So there's the corner angle punch. Yes, let's talk about those next.
Okay. These
right.
are definitely an essential.
Yes. Even though we have our beloved Misty that we use for just about every card, sometimes you just need an acrylic block.
Yeah.
And we are excited to add these to our collection. We have the 1 3/4 inch round, 2.5 inch round, and 3 1/4 round. So I'll pull the medium size one out. I would say the medium size is probably my size that I use the most. Maybe even the small one. If I have bigger stamps, unless I'm doing happy half sheets, I will usually put the bigger stamps into my Misty. But let me show you what this looks like. I'm going to bring this in here so you can see hopefully a little bit better the etch markings that we've put on these. They have that wonderful scalloped edge for a comfort grip. And then we've got the etch markings, 1 centering line down the middle, and then 4 lines for kind of helping line up whatever you might be stamping, an image or a sentiment on that block. So
lovely.
Lots of great options for that, and I'm excited to have them labeled with our TV logo, and we really thought about how best to have those grid lines be purposeful and useful for people. So we have our acrylic blocks in 3 sizes. All right, let's talk about this one next.
I know, this one's a cute one.
This, I don't know if it's more of a tool or an essential, but either way, I think you need it.
Yes. Yes. If you're sending cards, this is going to come in handy.
Yes. This was available in our Black Friday bundle last year, and now we're making these available for everyone if you want to purchase one. This is a stamp dispenser. It comes with our cute rainbow sticker on the front. It says stamps on it. It does not come with a roll of stamps inside of it. I know. But we did place our roll inside there so you can see how it keeps your stamps really nicely organized. You can just pull them out and peel one off. And then this looks so cute sitting with all of your
it's adorable.
Sending items.
Yeah.
Okay. Best tool. We saved it for last.
I know. I'm like, I'm like holding my breath. Do we show them now?
I know. This
They're
is
probably,
exciting.
yes, yelling at the screen. Well, yes.
What is it?
Show us.
Okay, this one is going to be super fun for those of you that have one of these that I have in front of me, our Glassboard. We have our large and our small magnetic Glassboard, and we are excited to introduce the Glassboard Buddy.
Woo!
Let me get it out of the box so I can explain a little bit better what this is. So the Glassboard Buddy provides you with a little space to place your most used elements while you're using your Glassboard. It's a little tough to get out of the plastic here. Okay, so this is what our Glassboard Buddy looks like, and I'm going to explain to you some of the features.
Yes.
Biggest feature, it's magnetic. And when I say magnetic, like strong. It's not just this black piece is a rubberized surface. The magnets are actually built into the material itself, which makes the entire bottom surface really adhere down to that Glassboard. Let me put it down for you guys.
Ooh.
Just sticks beautifully. So once it's down, it is down. Like I can't push this thing off of my Glassboard without...
I heard Susan exclaiming the first time she tried it. She was like, it doesn't come off!
I know, we even tested it with the small Glassboard. Once you let it set for a little while, it gets even more set in place.
Yes.
And we were actually able to use this to pick up the Glassboard.
Oh, wow.
By holding on to this.
That's
now,
nice.
if you do want to get it off, there is like a key to doing that. You can kind of twist a little bit, and that takes it off of the surface a little more easily. I wouldn't say you won't get it off if you're just pulling up really hard. It's easier to get it off just by twisting a little bit. So what does this hold? Well, we do a lot of blending on our Glassboards.
Yes,
and
we
so,
do.
First and foremost, this holds a full-size Tailored Expressions ink pad so that when you're blending, putting that blender brush across the surface of your ink pad, you are not going to have any movement on that.
Wow.
So
nice.
Super nice. A couple other built-in features that make this the buddy for your Glassboard. You can see maybe if you've taken a closer look at this.
I was going to ask about that.
We have a little notch cut into the end. Well, that was on purpose. This is a little pour spout for putting your embellishments back into the bottle.
I love it.
So let's say you want to pour some of your embellishments out onto the surface, and then you want to use them and put them on your project. Then we're going to take and just kind of give a light little twist to get that off of the surface of our Glassboard. Actually,
I know, you put the cap back on.
Silly me, put the cap back on before I was ready for it. But you have that pour spout then that you can just funnel all of those embellishments right back in there.
That is going to make my cleanup 10 times easier.
Isn't that great?
I love it.
Just remember when you're putting your embellishments back in, a little twist goes a long way. So you're not trying to like pull this up and then you lose your grip and your embellishments go all over.
Yes.
So that
good tip.
Yes.
I like that.
The other thing, because the magnet is built into the material that this is made out of, that means that the bottom surface of this is magnetic in several places where those magnets are located, which means if you have a small die or something that you just don't want to lose off of your desktop, you can pop that into the center and that magnet is going to hold that die until you're ready to put it away in your collection.
It's a little catch-all.
So it's a little catcher
I
for
like that.
your bits and bobs. So I think you guys
I
are
got
going to
plenty
love
of
this.
bits and bobs. I know just what to do with this.
Yeah, this is going to be super useful for those of you who use that Glassboard on a regular basis, and I hope you love it.
Yay!
So that is our Glassboard Buddy, and
Hey.
that's not all. That was, I know.
Wow!
That was the tools portion of our release. Now we have the essentials to talk about.
Whoop, whoop.
In the beginning, I mentioned backgrounds and patterns being something that I consider an essential in my crafting.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times you're just looking for that little thing to finish off your project, but you don't want it to be too overwhelming. Maybe you've got a beautiful floral design, but you can't put another floral behind that.
Right.
Or, you know, the pretty diamond pattern that you have might be a little bit too bold to put behind your florals. So these are beautiful essential backgrounds that are just the right amount of pattern.
Show me.
Okay, we have 2 6x6 and 2 regular size.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I've explained this before, the reason why we do some of them in an A2 size is because the pattern is the same whether you are orienting your card vertically or horizontally.
Okay.
So we save some of the rubber material to allow you to get a better deal. These are obviously less expensive, but if you don't need the directional differentiation, then we create it in an A2. So this particular one is called Polka Chic.
I love it.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
Just a really fun Swiss dot pattern. Very understated. Stamp this tone on tone in the background.
That's what I was just thinking.
And it's perfect.
Oh.
I love it. Susan's been using it a lot. So
I was thinking this might have been a Susan brainchild because she loves herself some polka dots.
Yes, and if you were part of our Combo Club Live on Friday, then you saw Susan's card that she created as a little sneak peek using the Polka Chic.
And that was adorable too. I'm excited.
So next up, we have Fine Diamond. Again, this is a non-directional pattern, so you can use this as an A2. Fine Diamond, this is a fine line that creates diamonds. That's where we got the name from. So super fun on that one. I do have samples to show with some of these as we get a little bit farther into our essentials that we have to share. This next one, I think this one might be my favorite.
I was just going to say that. I was
love this
thinking,
one.
I love the way this looks, and I love a 6x6. So tell me more. Okay.
So this one is directional. If you want to do it horizontally and vertically, you would need to be able to have that full 6x6 to keep the pattern running the same direction. And this one is called Tweed. So a really fine, I guess I can show you the beautifully etched rubber on the back, but this is a really fine line, kind of etched background. There you can really see what that looks like, but really, really fun, subtle pattern that goes great with just about anything. Then we've got this one, another great versatile background called Pinstripe. So I'm going to show you a fun way to use this when I'm live on Tuesday because you can rotate this. It is 6x6, so you could do it vertically and horizontally on the same card to create a checkerboard instead of a stripe.
Wow.
So super fun.
Excited to see that.
Yeah, should we show them some samples?
Yes, we should.
Since I just talked about the checkerboard, let me show you. This is what we're going to be creating on Tuesday, so join me live. It's been a while since I've made a shaker card, and you can see how I use that background to create the checkerboard design.
And I'm seeing this new sentiment in the back, that mega messages, oh happy day.
Mega messages just
I
released,
love all of those.
I am loving those too. So lots of tips and tricks. There's even some foiling on this card.
Oh,
so we're really going to get lots of techniques in on this one. Then also with the pinstripe, I loved Heather's take on this. So she embossed the pinstripe onto watercolor cardstock, and then she used her watercolors to color each stripe in a different color. So that's so
We're
fun.
a sucker for any rainbow, Heather, but this is fantastic. I love it.
I love that one too. All right, and then a couple products on this one. So I'm going to bring back this punch so you can remember that we talked about that corner angle punch and then the tweed background. So Sue Banker created this beautiful card. Look at how she embossed the background of that tweed with gold embossing powder on toffee.
That looks fancy.
I told her this looks almost like fabric, and it feels so fun when you rub your thumb over it, just very textured. And then she used that corner angle punch to create the layered look for this perennial scenes that she stenciled. So all of the corners are punched with the same size. She just cut out several squares to layer together and then punched with the angle to give it that unique look.
Cute. That was gorgeous.
I love that. Okay, now we're on to our essentials in die form because dies are essential as well.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the shapes and things that we buy can really make our cards look that elevated step up, but they aren't the most fun things to be like, oh, that's amazing. No, they're shapes.
Yes.
But so useful.
We need them for building our cards.
We do.
I get it. Mm-hmm.
All right, so first up, this is not a shape, but it is an essential.
Ooh.
So we have the Stitched Numbers die set. This one will match our Stitched Alphabet, which is why we're bringing this out, because Stitched Alpha has become super popular.
Yes.
Let me show you this card where Jill combined the Stitched Alpha with one of our exclamation points from the numbers.
I need this card.
Happy 29-ish again.
Are you going to give this to me for my 40th?
Maybe I should send it back to Jill so she can give it to you.
True. It's adorable. I love it.
Then you can also see in the background that she used the polka chic and the pinstripe.
Yes.
I loved how she used the pinstripe and then used it to line up the alphabet letters that she had die cut. Because then you know you're going to have a perfectly straight sentiment. So there is the Stitched Numbers. Then we're going to talk about this fun shape that I'll be using on my card that we'll be making during the live. This one is called Label Stacklets 15, and it features this fun capsule shape. I'm loving that shape.
I do too.
And this was available at our in-person Stamp Joy last year, so we are excited to add it to our full collection. But if you are at in-person Stamp Joy, then check your collection for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, another one that was super popular at our recent virtual Stamp Joy this spring. This is cross-stitch rectangle stacklets. So these don't actually cut out a rectangle. You would use these to impress the design into a rectangle that you've already cut. These do coordinate with our A2 layer stacklets and our additional A2 layer stacklets.
Awesome.
Susan has a beautiful card that she created here. You can see, if I get this into the light correctly, you can see those dark blue sour gummy layers, how the cross stitch just etches around the outside. And look at this fun layout. I love how she just separated those a little bit, made it a little bit unexpected. Also, if I get it up close, you can see the background that she stamped with the fine diamond.
Yes.
That's oat milk stamped on sugar cube cardstock. So really fun project with those cross-stitch rectangle stacklets. All right, we're getting towards the end here. We have ridged arch stacklets. This was another one that was available during our virtual Stamp Joy. These coordinate with our arch stacklet dies so that you can do something like Susan did here. You can cut out the arch with the arch stacklet and then add those ridges in. You can see them better right up here at the top.
Ooh.
How it just adds that little bit of texture onto your kind of die cut element.
I know a lot of people will love using these because we heard back from a lot of customers who were like, oh, we want like a ridged arch to go. The arch stacklets are one of my favorites.
The arch is a really fun shape
that's
all the very popular right now.
Yes.
And you can put just about anything in here. Susan used our coneflowers die, just cut out of sugar cube and arranged around that arch opening. And then we've got, again, I think she was on a roll with the fine diamond background stamp. And that was stamped in oyster on sea salt. So really, really fun there. All right, last but not least, we have our square stacklets. So this is something we just needed in our collection.
Yes.
We have stitched square stacklets, but these are our nesting style stacklets. There's 14 dies in this set, and they come on a magnet for you, so you can keep them together easily. But a good square goes a long way, and I know you can cut it with your paper trimmer, but we just love something about cutting these with the die, and you get that nice finished edge on them. So this is part
Feels
of
like heaven.
I know. It's the little things that make us happy.
Things. I know.
So square stacklets, and then I'm going to bring this card back in to show you. That's how Sue cut these 3 layers to create kind of a nesting place for her.
That makes it easy. I love it.
Her pretty flowers, yeah. And then you can just snip the edges off with the angle rounder, and you've got it.
Cute.
All right, we made it.
We did.
Another product reveal video. Let's come back to everybody and All right. I hope you guys love what we have coming for our Tools and Essentials release. Let us know in the comments, what's your favorite? What are you looking forward to most? I always love to hear.
I do too.
I read all of the comments on Saturdays.
Yep.
And I love to hear from you guys. So if you're watching, leave us a comment and we will make sure we see you on Tuesday for our live 10 a.m. Central Time. The release starts at 9 a.m. So we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Hi, guys.